What types of people do you have zero respect for? I'm a rude butthole who tells it like it is. Deal with it. It's just who I am. It's not my fault you get offended. They never fail to fall apart and throw tantrums when they are told they've fricked up though. I'm just being honest. Yes, well, honesty comes in different forms, and some are more respectful and considerate than others. Samantha. Family vloggers. Just stop exploiting your kids and their privacy. Like if a kid's parents take their kid to acting classes and the kid enjoys it and gets to work on a TV show or movie, then that's fine. You're encouraging your kid to pursue a pretty cool career and they can keep doing it for as long as they enjoy it. If you're eating breakfast and your parents are just constantly vlogging and making sure you're all presentable for the camera, then you're just using them and neglecting them. They are going to possibly grow up narcissistic, emotionally stunted, materialistic, or just hating you for not being a proper parent and showing their whole childhood off to the world. This actually reminds me of an interview Daniel Radcliffe gave Wired. Apparently, he got the acting bug at around 8 years old and badgered his parents for years about acting until they finally let him audition for a play, assuming he'd get it out of his system. Dame Maggie Smith was in the cast of that play, and he still believes she suggested him for the part of Harry Potter. I just thought, oh, thank God that acting was something he genuinely wanted to do. When I was in Turkey, there were a lot of stray cats. A little kid ran up and kicked a kitten. The guy supervising the child laughed like it was funny. That guy. I have zero respect for that guy. Cell phone users who talk in speakerphone mode in public or when people play music on their phone speaker. Like I want to hear their crappy music choices. Freaking hate them. I used to work with a guy like that. He would walk into the break room with that crap, and I'd always tell him loud and clear for all to hear, "Hey man, you should really gift yourself some freaking headphones for Christmas or something." So obnoxious. The person on the top floor of the building I'm currently living in that's playing crappy music way too loudly and it's about to hit 10 PM. Not to mention she's got the speakers facing outside, annoying everyone else too. I had this problem at my last apartment. Find where the power meters are and turn their power off. Twice and that crap stopped. People who make fun of fat skinny people at the gym. Coming from a jacked dude, they are there to get help. We all started somewhere. I was hella nervous joking the gym due to this fact, but luckily my gym is super chill. People who hate on others for no reason besides looks, especially when they hate on my cat. For context, I have the friendliest Sphinx cat who loves to go on walks with me and meet people. Some people are just freaking disgusting though. I had a group of vegan pet quacks. They had shirts with the logo on and were hollering about factory farming when they were on an island nowhere near any type of farm. Tell me that my cat wasn't real and that she'd ought to be shot because she was harming real cats. My cat was literally just sitting in her sling and purring while these kids were petting her. I've probably told this story 1,000 times by now, but I'll keep doing because of how royally off I was. The downright hypocrisy of these people who claim to advocate for the well-being of animals telling me to kill her. It speaks volumes about a person when they hate on others purely because of their physical appearance. All cats are cute. I've, unfortunately, never gotten to meet a Sphinx cat in person yet, but I think they're very very cute. I'd love to see a picture of yours if you're willing to share. I have a somewhat similar issue with people saying my pets. I've had rats, a snake, tarantulas, scorpions are gross. I've had a guy come into my room uninvited and inform me that if I got my tarantula out he'd kill him. I wasn't even planning on getting him out, but even if I was, he came into my room where he knew a tarantula lived and then proceeded to threaten him. I don't understand people. People who do not apologize when they're wrong and instead try to brush it under the rug and rebuild a relationship without apologizing. Wow, I can't believe you've met my mother. Street racers that weave in and out of traffic and put everyone on the road at risk. They give the car community and the real racing community a bad name. Frick all of them. It takes a certain level of brash arrogance and stupidity to not realize that you're zipping around in a 2,500 pounds hunk of metal moving at high speed. People who don't return the dang shopping cart when they're done. Just park next to the cart return if it's so difficult to walk. People who constantly ask for validation. Asking for a compliment is okay, but asking too much every single time we talk is just not. Crappy dog owners. Just yesterday I had to stop a pit bull from attacking a second dog in the span of 20 minutes because she wouldn't and couldn't control her dog. As a dog trainer, it's infuriating. People who actively leave other people out, whether in plans or in conversations. I was a part of a group of 3 for a little while with 2 other co-workers. One of the 2 went out of her way to have conversations about things I either dislike or things I don't know about. Stupid stuff even, like turning up country music when I'm in the room or talking about how dumb my childhood was for not watching Hannah Montana lol. Either include people or express the fact that you don't want to spend time with people. She can drink concrete for all I care lol. I've never heard the phrase drink concrete before, but I love it. Guys who got rich with zero effort and act like they are a better person than others who are not rich, and by zero effort I mean something like becoming rich by inheritance. Girls who brag about how they started with nothing except $1 million plus loan from mommy daddy and are now thousandaires. People who are obviously yelling or intentionally raising their voice to seem intimidating and tell you it's just the way they talk. People who aren't open to accept any difference. From the infinite examples, my mom who asks me about my married friends if they got any kids yet. Every time we go through the same discussion. G don't want any kids yet. She insists that they're poor things, they must be trying and not getting pregnant. People marry for the purpose of having kids. I just stopped mentioning those friends to her to avoid this fruitless discussion. Another extreme example, when I got back from a trip to Japan, I was telling my friend about it, and I was too close to talk about the onsen experience. Public bath, women only, fully naked. Luckily, she talked before me. I don't know if you heard about onsen. A colleague of mine went to Japan and tried them. I honestly lost every bit of respect I had for her. I understood that she was about to stop respecting me if I tell her, so I kept my mouth shut. People who judge you or assume you're faking something without knowing you. No, I'm not gonna give up my train seat for your old butt, Karen. I may look like a healthy 18-year-old, but I got the joints of a 80-plus-year-old person with rheumatoid arthritis. So frick off. Also, whoever supports anti-homeless architecture, it's not just the homeless that suffer from it, it's also disabled, pregnant and old people amongst others. Dishonest creationist preachers, the big name ones that have been educated countless times about exactly what's wrong with the crap they spew but never change. The ones who admit that believing the gospels is more important than being correct. The ones that deliberately misquote actual scientists to make them seem wrong, etc. Some examples. For those interested, Kent Hovind, Ken Ham, David C. Pack, Ray Comfort, the list goes on. Narcissists who don't know they are narcissists and then play the victim every time while having a god complex. Lie, cheat and obliterate everything they touch, including humans. Frick these pieces of crap. The people that don't believe or ignore the fact that their pet is in pain. I see too many dogs get euthanized for being unable to walk due to arthritis and have not been given a single joint supplement or pain medication in their life. The I don't care about your feelings, I'm going to say and do whatever I want type. They act like they're some sort of superior intellectual, but in reality they're just self-entitled C who don't want to admit that they're self-entitled C. Agreed. People who vote based on the personality of the candidate and not the candidate's views, policies, and the impact those policies have had. Aggressive double standards, like someone who embodies a toxic political trope, but calls everyone out for the same behavior on the other side. Doesn't have to be political either. I know a dude who is just rude as can be, but the second someone matches his energy it's like you slapped him. People who make fun of people who are trying to be helpful. I used to go to the gym, just to keep fit, nothing major, and I used to see this really big guy there every week walking on the treadmill. He always worked himself really hard and I admired his dedication. He came in wearing an anime t-shirt once that I was a fan of, so I remarked on it and told him how well I could see he was doing. He told me I was the only person who had ever spoken to him and some people had even laughed at him. It made me really cross. What is the point of a gym if not to help lose weight? Why mock people that are just trying to improve themselves and make themselves feel better? I made a point of speaking to him if I saw him after that, and before I left he told me he'd lost 12 kilos. People that constantly feel the need to put others down to make themselves feel better. Yes, 100%. I used to work with someone like this. When I first met her I thought we could be friends as we had so much similar on the surface, but after a few hours of actually working with her I realized I very seriously wanted to punch her in the face every time she spoke. I'm not a violent person, but she was just a dong, through and through. She would make fun or put someone down every chance she got. It's a horrifically ugly trait. I then made it my mission to say something nice about everyone I came into contact with at least once a day just to pee her off. I was overwhelmingly relieved when she left a few months later. I think I would have left if she hadn't. Seeing her name on the same rota as me made my heart sink. I actually had to block her on social media as even seeing her made me go erg way too hard. She just made whatever was around her less enjoyable. People that flaunt wealth that they didn't work for and then think they are above everyone. I work with someone like this. It's awful. They married a really rich old guy and suddenly are coming into work with super expensive clothes, handbags and jewelry. They are always boasting about how wealthy they are now. It's so uncomfortable to be in their company. As an hour line of work you won't get rich. Most people are struggling to get by and they rock in with shoes and bags worth 8,000. Read the room or quit the job, you ignorant cow. People who pull the ladder up behind them. You know, like people who were able to pay for college with a part-time job, voting to cut funding for public education, leading to tuition rising exponentially until most degrees aren't even worth the money. Bonus points if they pretend they struggle just as much if not more to get to their level as everyone who came along after the fricking ladder was gone. People who think the world is just gonna get hit by a big space rock or a volcano will wipe us out, so let's not care about the climate. As well as the rest of the world is worse for the environment, so we shouldn't have to do anything because they aren't. People who throw trash out their window along the road are scum. I don't really care if people disagree with me on this. Protecting the planet shouldn't be a big controversy. At the very least, don't litter. Making of people with disabilities or problems outside of their control. So I have difficulty speaking due to not socializing for several months. And I can't stand when people keep mimicking my voice in a joking way. It's very frustrating because my voice has deteriorated and I'm trying to speak more. But every time people make fun of my voice it makes me never want to speak again. It's like making fun of overweight people at the gym or sick people at the hospital. Parents who can't admit that they're wrong. It's fine to admit that you made a mistake, it doesn't make you less of a parent. Your child is not back talking. Your child is trying to have an actual discussion with you. Also, child abusers. I don't care what country you are. Just because it's legal to punish your child physically does not mean that it's good. I was abused as a child even though any kind of physical discipline is illegal in my country. Thanks mom for the trauma. Older, 60 plus, male trade workers, and just in general, who believe that anyone they consider young never knows what they're talking about. These dudes consider any word or question put to them as an attack on their 40 years of experience. Most recently, a mechanic, which is the absolute worst. This dude I dealt with recently was the most disrespectful know-it-all I have ever met. Anyway, the reason I say mechanics are the worst is because the auto industry has completely changed in the last 10 years and even more so in the last 5, that the majority of their experience is completely useless. Also, this guy clearly had no idea what Google is. He was trying to call the local junkyard to get a picture of how my battery leads were supposed to be wired, and of course they didn't have one there. He told me this and I just drove up there. Took me 5 seconds to find the exact picture he needed for my car, same year, make, model, trim. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.